Welcome to Technology Today. I'm John Klein. We've all seen the impact of technology on our everyday lives, from the smartphones in our pockets to the GPS units on the dashboards of our cars. We're surrounded by technology that was barely imaginable just 10 years ago. Today we'll meet faculty members from California University of Pennsylvania who take a high-tech approach to some of the familiar situations. Our first guest works with future teachers. Under her guidance, they're learning to use technology that is transforming classrooms and helping students of all ability levels to learn more effectively. Let's welcome Dr. Catherine Mitchem of Cal U's College of Education. Hi, Catherine.
Hi.
Let's get right into it. If I want to be an educator, what tools must I learn how to use right out of the gate?
I think first we need to learn to use some of the different hardware. So things like smart boards, iPads, iPods, different tablets, smart tables, even 3D technology, which is being used even more and more.
How do students at Cal U's College of Education, how do they learn how to use all of this technology? Because it has to be changing daily.
Absolutely. And so one of the things that we do is we actually use technology in all of our classes. But another thing that we have at Cal U is we have a specially equipped classroom, which is just for students. So in that classroom, we have smart boards, smart tables, lots of iPads, iPods, different apps, lots of different apps, including robotic type things that for children to use. And this is open to our students so that they can come in and actually play with the technology and really design the classroom around how they think they might be teaching in the future.
So it's very hands-on for them
Absolutely.
To be using the tools that they will be using in the classroom.
Yeah, so they get the opportunity to really practice, not only just when they have a lesson that they need to teach, but they can come in and just really pretend, oh, I'm going to teach today. We even have classes of students come in, so we have a Head Start classroom that comes in on a weekly basis. So little children come in and students volunteer to actually work with Head Start pupils aged from 3 to 5, learning to use different iPad apps and smart boards. So they're working hands-on with little children, yes.
They're using what they will use in the classroom in a real-life situation.
Absolutely.
I understand that you teach the special education department. Does technology have particular benefits for kids and even adults who have special needs?
Yes, absolutely. I think for all of us, technology makes things easier. But one thing we have to remember is that for children and for individuals with disabilities, technology can make things possible. So things that otherwise in previous years individuals with disabilities couldn't do, now with technology they're actually able to do certain things. And without that stigma attached, so you can pull out a phone or you can pull out an iPad and look like everybody else, but that phone or
it's
that
making
iPad,
their life a lot easier.
Absolutely.
Can you give us some examples of some of the technologies that future educators are learning to use at Cal U?
Sure. We have an app, for example, an app that I've developed that we actually are using in the classroom. One little boy is using it. He's on the spectrum and he has meltdowns. And on this app, we're able to take a little video of what he needs to do instead, and it shows him pushing a remote, like on a television remote, and it's pause. So to remind him that instead of having a meltdown when things don't go his way,
push pause.
It's push pause.
And it's something that he can relate to.
And it's something he can relate to. And so what he does is he pushes pause, reminds him, hey, I need to push pause, and then he can check.
And he's completed what he's needed to do.
What he needs to do.
Do public schools in the region have this technology installed already?
Sure, a lot of schools do. Not all schools have everything. And what you find is that some schools have fewer resources. And so even though they may have been able to purchase some of the technology, maybe they haven't been able to provide lots of training for their teachers. So what we found with our students is sometimes they're able to go in and help train the teachers in how to use the technology. Sometimes they've been able to go in and really, work with the teachers on, teachers themselves really know a lot about it. And other times we've been able to take the technology into the schools. So we have mobile labs that we've been able to take into the schools and use iPads with the students.
So some CalU students are teaching teachers.
Some of them are, absolutely, yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
How much actual classroom teaching experience do CalU students get before they are graduated?
Oh, one of the great things I think about our program is that we put our students in the field first year. Second semester, they go into the field, and what they're learning in the classroom on Mondays and Wednesdays, they're actually applying in the field on a Friday.
It's that fast.
It's that fast. We like to get them in the field so that they can find out, is this for them?
How can future teachers keep up with these changes since it's moving so fast?
I think one of the ways we do it is we work with a cadre. We have partner schools, and so we tend to share with them what we're doing. We also have great relationships with school districts, and they share with us too. It's a reciprocal relationship. We want to work with them and have them help us. One of the ways we do this, for example, is we have teachers let us know, well, how can we help you? So our field students, for example, they have an assignment where they, based on the teacher's needs, identify an app that teachers don't have a lot of time. So they want to know what app works for what content area with what kids. So our students find that app for the classrooms that they're in. They research it, they implement it with the teacher's students, they evaluate it, and then we've been compiling a database. So we share that database with teachers. So teachers have access, public school teachers have access to this database.
It sounds like a fun way to learn. And it sounds like a totally different way to learn from when our generation was in college.
I think it is in some ways. I think there's still some similar skills. We still have to use problem solving. We still have to use critical thinking skills.
But we didn't have iPads.
We didn't have iPads, but
Right.
we still have to use that effective communication and those kinds of things. So we still, some of those basic skills we have to remember and we still have to be able to use. But yeah, iPads are a lot of fun, and there's a lot of great apps.
Changing the future. Thank you,
Yeah.
Dr. Mitchem.
You're
Up
welcome.
next, we'll take a look at CalU's high-tech approach to earth sciences when Dr. Swarn Gill, Associate Professor, Department of Earth Sciences, joins us. That's coming up next on the special CalU presentation of Technology Today. Welcome back to this special CalU presentation of Technology Today. Our next guest uses technology to forecast the weather and to prepare CalU students for careers in meteorology. Whether they're in the lab or chasing storms out on the field, these weather watchers use an array of high-tech tools. Let's welcome Dr. Swarn Gill, Associate Professor, Department of Earth Sciences. Welcome to the show, Doc.
Hello, thank you.
We're all familiar with the TV weather reports, but most of us don't know what technology goes into those reports. We see the weather guy sitting there going through computers, and then we see him on screen. But what do you do to train these future meteorologists to get their education and knowledge?
I guess in terms of technology, there's really kind of three parts to it. First, you need quality instrumentation, taking measurements of temperature, humidity, precipitation, pressure. So we need accurate data, and so we need good instruments in order to take that data. So once that data is collected, there's a number of different software programs that our students have access to, and the National Weather Service, obviously, to be able to analyze that data, to see what's happening now, maybe what's happened for the past few days. A good forecaster is always sort of looking at the past in trying to predict the weather. And then the third part is the computer models, which kind of crunch the numbers and utilize equations that we know to affect how air moves and how energy moves in the atmosphere. And those computer models try to come up with the future, right? So forecasters are looking at good data. They're analyzing that data from what's happening now and what's happened in the past, and then using the computer models to help them make their forecast.
Has the technology really changed drastically over the past decade for predicting the weather?
I think so. I mean, it is constantly changing. I mean, learning about the history of meteorology is really a history of technology. for instance, even just, when you look at things like historical tornado data, you see like the number of tornadoes in the United States jump up, by 500 tornadoes a year, in the 80s, and that's simply because we had a great radar network in 1988 was installed, and that helped us detect things better. So, yeah, it changes all the time, and it's changed a lot.
When you think of a meteorology degree, you immediately think of, a man or a woman doing weather broadcasting for a television. But there are other careers for meteorologists also.
Exactly, and I think that's, people's perception of meteorologists is often, the person on TV. I often get asked when I say I'm a meteorologist that, oh, so you're on TV. I'm like, no.
I just asked you before we started. I said, what's the forecast? You said,
So I think that, obviously working for the National Weather Service is probably the main one that you think of when you think forecasters. But there are, our students, for instance, some go off to graduate school to do research. Some work for a growing private sector meteorology, so private sector meteorology companies like AccuWeather, WeatherBug. These companies do client-based forecasting, so they kind of really specialize, for energy companies who need people on call, things like that, and they really want to know, what's going to happen between 6 and midnight, and how many people do we need to have on call. We have a student who's a forecaster for the LPGA tour. So
that's their job is the meteorologist for the LPGA.
Yeah, so they're forecasting for the events when the ladies go on tour. He travels all over the world. So yeah, we have students who work for NASA now. For Jet Propulsion Laboratory, so there's a lot of possible careers.
Do most students come in and they picture themselves being on TV right out of the gate, or do a lot of them appreciate the science and math side of it?
I'd say there's a mixture. I think there has been a lot of misconceptions about students coming in not really realizing that it's a science and it's applied math and physics, and so that's one of the first things we try to tell them is that, hey, this is going to be a little bit difficult.
Right. You're not just standing on camera going the whole time. How does CalU prepare students for these different careers?
Well, we have two things that I'd say that give students the best opportunity is that we focus on, certainly the core curriculum. So the American Meteorological Society is our parent organization. They determine sort of what an undergraduate curriculum should have. And that includes lots of experience with computers. So for those who want to go more into, sort of the science side, doing research or working for National Weather Service, the Weather Center is our lab, and students get a lot of practice in doing forecasts there, getting familiar. We publish them on the web. We let people know that these are student forecasts, so there can be problems, but they get practice doing that using software that National Weather Service employees use. So
you have your own weather service at CalU?
Yeah, we have we publish our forecasts and things like that. So. And then we also do have a broadcast studio, which students can practice, obviously, their on-air persona, but also get practice doing video production and using also software that's used for putting together forecasts.
So everything that somebody in the real world would need, you have there at CalU.
That's correct.
Do you have students or past students who are working for National Weather Service or other major agencies?
We do. We have a number of alumni who are working for the National Weather Service. We have a student who's actually going to be interning this summer at the National Hurricane Center, so that's pretty exciting. So most of our students are, if they've gone to graduate school, they're probably still in graduate school or working for, like I said, NASA. We have one student working for NASA and one for the Jet Propulsion Laboratories. We do have students that go into teaching, so become.
There are a lot of different careers.
Yeah.
What sort of community outreach projects are the students from CalU involved with?
That's one of the big things that our students are involved in. So actually, this year is going to be the second time that our student club is being recognized nationally by the American Meteorological Society as Chapter of the Year, which is really a great accolade and really a testament to their hard work. So they go to visit schools, do severe weather safety lectures and you know, sort of give demonstrations on basic meteorological concepts. We also do a big event every year at the Carnegie Science Center here in Pittsburgh for young children. So we have on Friday, kids from schools come in, Saturdays open to the general public, and our students are there doing sort of interactive demonstrations, you know, simple level stuff. Yeah. So.
Storm chasing too. Now some students, is that an internship or a program in the summer this summer?
The storm chase is actually a course, so it's a three credit hour course, field course, in which students can, you know, practice their forecasting skills for severe weather. We take them out into the central and southern plains because, you know, it's very hard to see things here in Pennsylvania when you're chasing, so it's not really safe. Yeah, so they go out there, get to see, you know, just having that visibility allows them to really see the structure of severe weather in a way that they can't do it here. And, you know, severe weather is, you know, what attracts a lot of students to the field, you know, seeing that power of Mother Nature. So it's a great time. With
a smartphone in our hand and an instant forecast in our pocket, are the future of meteorologists going to change with the technology?
I think so. I mean, certainly the fact that we have access to data a lot more easily as a consumer of information, I think forces the meteorologists to think about how they communicate with the public. And so, you know, one of the main pushes within the National Weather Service and the American Meteorological Society is to incorporate more communication specialists into the discussion of, you know, how can we make this graphic more understandable to a larger group of people, you know, to really make sure that the public, you know, stays safe and you know, will realize the risk associated with a hurricane coming or a winter storm coming and things like that. So I think that has you know, really exposed a lot of issues in communication, because before, you know, the National Weather Service would do their thing, and then it would be the broadcast meteorologist on your local TV station who would be sort of the conduit for that weather information, and now people are accessing it on their own all the time.
Sounds like there are a bunch of different options. Thank you, Dr. Gill. If you need some more information, he would love to answer all of those questions that you have. Coming up next, CalU's Dr. Stephen Whitehead about the CalU Center for Innovation at Southpoint. That's on the way when CalU's special presentation of Technology Today continues right here on KDKA-TV. Welcome back to our special CalU presentation of Technology Today. I'm John Klein. The CalU Center for Innovation at Southpoint is becoming a hub for creativity and a place where families can explore science, technology, engineering, and math. The person who is responsible for all of this new creativity at CalU is the Associate Provost for Innovation, Dr. Stephen Whitehead. Welcome to Technology Today.
Hi, thank you.
Tell us, the CalU Center for Innovation at Southpoint. Start at the beginning. What is it?
All right, so CalU's been at Southpoint for about over a decade now. And really, we've always focused on offering credit-based courses there. And this year, we wanted to take a look and say, hey, what can we do a little differently to do a better job of engaging the community, getting more people there, getting parents there, getting kids there, getting corporations there. And we came up with the concept of creating a Center for Innovation. And the real concept that drives the real concept driving that background or that thought is to sort of mirror what's going on in a Silicon Valley. So a Silicon Valley isn't so much a place as it is an attitude. And we wanted to develop that type of innovative attitude at Southpoint and in southwestern Pennsylvania.
So this is not just a classroom where students go and learn and get college credits. It's a lot more than that now.
Exactly. We still do offer credit-based courses there, and that's something we will continue. But now we're looking at offering a professional development for companies. We're looking at doing a lot of activities for parents and kids to get them introduced to STEM and creative thinking and different activities along those lines.
Why is innovation and creativity so important? What do you think, Doc?
Well, I think it's really important that because with the technology and everything that's going on now, and in southwestern Pennsylvania, we have a culture where we're great workers and we follow the rules and do what we can. And now there's a chance to really open it up and sort of take different paths that didn't exist before and just really see where everything's going to end up, truly follow our passions.
Do these paths change a lot with technology? Where a path from 10 years ago or 20 years ago or for our parents' and grandparents' generation was totally different?
Oh yeah, I think technology is really leading us places that we really never had a concept where it could go. And the beauty of it, when you put technology in the hands of children, they don't have these preconceived restrictions that sort of hold them back from knowing what they can't do with it. So they really, sometimes they take it places where we never thought we'd end up.
You had no idea that it could actually do that. How does the Center for Innovation serve families in the region?
Once a month, we offer what's called the Family Play Lab. And at the Family Play Lab, we invite parents of children in grades 3 through 5 and 6 through 8 to come in and study a specific activity. So it could be electronics, it could be 3D printing, it could be app development. There's a number of programs that we're running. And the concept there is to get the parents and the children both engaged to see what's going on and what the opportunities are for those types of trainings.
What's the advantage? I understand the kids being there. What's the advantage of the parents being there?
Well, there was a study done by the Chevron STEM Center out of the Carnegie Science Center, and the name of the title is called Work to Do. And what it showed us was that the parents still don't understand what STEM means. So we thought the best way to really explain STEM was to get parents and kids in a room and show them STEM activities taking place and sort of break down that barrier of what really is STEM.
Do the parents go away surprised sometimes when the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders know more than the parents?
Yeah.
I would be intimidated.
Well, the cool thing we've seen is at some point we start teaching the kids about the activities, and at some point the kids start teaching the parents, and we can sort of step back and watch this whole interaction play out.
That's got to be an interesting way. So it sounds like, technology to me would be all, X's and O's and math and science, but it sounds like you're making it fun for kids and parents.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. When we talk about STEM, we tend to start the conversation by saying, hey, STEM is based around science and math, and it's really hard. What kid's going to be excited about getting into that?
I'm gone.
Yeah, so we take the approach, well, wait, let's start with the activity. Let's show them electronics. Let's show them app development, and then let's talk about how science and math are used there, and then leave them with it. Oh, wait, I just did math, and it wasn't bad.
It's not something to be scared of anymore. Math, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
You've been at CalU or CalU's been at Southpoint rather for about a dozen years, you said.
Yes.
Is CalU at Southpoint involved with the Southpoint community and a lot of the businesses and corporations there?
Oh, yeah. One of the things we're really focusing on now is we're focusing on being a resource to teach creative thinking processes. So we're really looking at, hey, how do we get these companies, all these companies are developing these positions that are based around innovation. And what does innovation really mean? So we're helping them understand that innovation is a process and not a product.
What technology is available at the Innovation Center then?
We basically have all the cool technology you can think of. So we have mobile devices, we have iPads, we have a touchscreen desktop. So we have an Oculus Rift. The Oculus Rift is the virtual headset that you can put it on and be in a virtual world and go through activities like that. So we have a bunch of really cool technology that we're looking at. How can we use this technology to better engage students, and how can we use it to help corporations do training and simulations and things along those lines?
You didn't bring the 3D headset for us to try here, Doc?
No. I can't get it out of the
When you said that,
center.
my ears perked up. It's like, where is it? I want to see it. So for you, it has to be fun where each day you go in, you're teaching, but also, I hate to use the term playing, but you're learning with a lot of the hands-on things that you have available.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of it. Learning should be playing. I mean, we learn best when we play. We learn best when we're engaged. So at the center, that's the beauty of it. It's sort of like Charlie's a chocolate factory. We go in there and we try all different types of things, and some work and some don't, but it's a very creative space where you can write on the walls or the windows, or you can change things around. You may be using the Oculus headset one day, you may be using a simulator the next, you may be building Snap electronics one day. You never really quite know what you're going into, and it's always exciting.
That has to be one of the greatest things in the world, if your day changes every day, and the students are learning, but they're not realizing they're learning.
Yeah. The exciting part is when kids leave, when we hear back from parents that the kids are talking about the activities we did with them on the ride home. And what's really unique is everything we do, all the programs we use, we try to use free programs. So when the students go home, they can download them to their computers, to their iPads if they have them, and they can keep doing this learning without us there.
And it just continues to grow because the technology is going to change in 6 months or a year and in 2 years down the road after that. How can somebody learn more? You've piqued a lot of interest, I'm sure, about the Programming Center at the CalU Center for Innovation at Southpoint. How can somebody learn more?
Okay, the best way would be to go to our website. Our website is www.calu.edu and then /innovation. And what we do is we post monthly all the activities that we have. We have the signups for the Family Play Labs. We talk about future programs that are coming. We talk about programs that schools can be actively involved with if they want. And we also talk about programs that we're looking for corporate funding to to step up and help us support the program so we can take them to a larger platform.
When the families come in, is it usually, you said grades 3, 4, and 5, and then middle school?
Yes.
Does it end there, or is there also, are there programs for high school students?
There are programs for high school students, and one of the things we're looking at developing, it's called Be the Boss. So we're looking at developing a young entrepreneur program, and the young entrepreneur program will run from grades 3 through 12, and that was a program that was put together along with a startup company in Pittsburgh called C-Leveled. They have the Be the Boss program they were doing with grades at 3, 4, and 5, and we're bringing that to Southpoint, and we're going to open it up. It's going to be sort of like a Shark Tank approach. So students will present proposals they would like to see go through an entrepreneur process, and then we're taking some of the key players from the startups in Pittsburgh and using them as the board that selects the students who get chosen to go through the process.
Very interesting. Thanks, Doc. If you'd like to know more about CalU's technology programs, visit the university website at calu.edu for more information. That does it for this edition of Technology Today. I'm John Klein. Thanks for joining us on this special edition of CalU's Technology Today.